Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be reviewing this Beetles Kawaii Polygel kit. It's a new formula too, by the way. These colors remind me of springtime. They're pastel colors. They're beautiful. The nail art's amazing and it's so cute. I actually had to redo my voiceover just now because I was missing a clip of my video. I realized when I started to put the polygel on my nail that I never swatched. Well, I did swatch them, but I never added it. So I had to start all over. Fun times. Right here you'll see me showing you the booklet, the instruction manual that does come in this kit. If you did want to pause to read it, you can. I usually don't read these. I tend to just throw them away or put them aside because a lot of times it's geared more towards the dual forms, or it might tell you about the, how to cure and how long to cure the base coat and top coat and stuff like that. So that is the booklet. I actually have another Beetles Polygel kit that I did not review yet, but I had to get this one, so I'll review the other one in another video. So this kit comes with your top gel and 6 different shades of polygel. There's like a light blue, there's a light purple color, there's like a mint green, a really beautiful yellow, which I use, a pinkish color, and then a white with almost like the slightest hint of a pink in it, but it's white. Before I do swatch that, I will show you the rest. We have these adorable dessert stickers, little cakes and lollipops, stuff like that. This kit also came with 2 different types of dual forms. There are stiletto and I believe it's coffin. Now I don't use these, but I thought it was neat that they added in a stiletto dual form, so I do want to try them. I am not a big fan, I'll tell you right now. You will probably only see me do a stiletto nail shape maybe once or twice. I mean, I'll do it just if people request it, obviously, but I'm just not a fan of stiletto. There's nothing wrong with it. I just personally don't really do stiletto nails. But here I'm just showing you that they are straight. They're not curved like some other dual forms. This kit also comes with your tweezers to help you pick up the nail art. Has their amazing slip solution in a bottle, your 100-180 grit nail file. It also has your base gel, which you'll need. This kit would have been complete if they would have had a little nail lamp. But also they have rhinestone gel, which this stuff is good. I do use it in the video. You'll see later on. Definitely recommend it. Also has your standard polygel brush. One is the spatula. The other end is the gel brush. Here are the little kawaii charms that come with it. Is that what they're called? Kawaii charms? I don't know. I always called them charms. There's gummy bears. There's fruit slices. There's little hearts and stars. The hearts and the stars and the little snowflake shape remind me of like almost styrofoam, but not, if that makes sense. But all these little pieces are adorable. I loved the little gummy bears. This is the little, to me they look like snowflakes. Then here is the little, there's little cakes and donuts and ice cream. Such adorable. My kids always want to steal these when I get these types of things. There's the stars. They have, I believe it's 3 different color gummy bears. There's the yellow, maybe 4. They have pink, and then there is one that has 3D butterflies. There's the fruit slices that come with it. There's 2 pots with the fruit slices. And then we have more fruit slices were right there, and then this is the butterflies. I'm sorry, those were the fruit slices, kind of butterflies. So here is the swatching part. So this is a light pink color. Again, these remind me of pastel colors, springtime colors. Here's the next color that I'll be swatching. I believe this is a light blue color, like a pastel. If I could talk, it'd be great. This is the blue pastel color. I don't know, guys. These colors I just thought were gorgeous, and I had to get it and show you guys so that hopefully you choose to get it.
How many crayons
Here's the next color that I'm swatching for you guys. This is the light. I'm sorry, guys. I meant to say that first color was like a light purple. This is more of like a light pink, but it's like a peachy,
so dramatic.
like a peachy pink, if that makes sense. It had like a peach shade to it.
You are such a dramatic little girl.
Here's the mint green color, and they are numbered, so as you can see, it says the number on the front. This color is gorgeous.
These colors are so freaking pretty.
That would be a good color to use if you're doing like a summer look for like seashells and stuff like that. Really pretty color. This next color is my favorite, I believe, out of the whole kit. I just loved this color. I'm not sure what I did right there. I don't know why I squeezed it out like that. Look at that color. And it looks on camera like a brighter yellow than what it is. And you'll probably see when you see my nail set, it's not that bright. It's a pastel like yellow. It's so gorgeous.
Just color.
And then here's the last color. It's a white shade color. I thought that it had kind of like a tint of pink to it.
Are you guys just playing
But if you guys get this kit, you know, maybe you'll think differently. But I am going to go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds so you can see it uncured and cured. There they are.
I just don't know what I'm going to do.
I cured them for 60 seconds. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Here I'm showing you that in this video, I am going to use the Makartt Pump Up Extra Extra Long Coffin Nail Tips. I've had these for some time now, and I really been wanting to use them. Since I can't have my nails long, unfortunately, I can't use them in their glory, but I do trim them down. They're little nail tips, and they're I don't know why I can't talk tonight, guys. The nail box, the nail tip box. I just love how they come. They come with this cute little nail file, and then they give you nail glue. My daughter already confiscated that little nail file. My little 2-year-old, I guess she thinks she's a nail tech. But the glue, guys, the nail glue works just as good as KDS. So if you don't have any KDS and you happen to have this, that nail glue will work out for you. So here I'm showing you the length. As you can see, it is an extra extra long coffin. I wish I can wear them that long. And they do have a C-curve to them. And I do show you later on how you can trim the sides of your nails to try to get that C-curve to lessen up for you. Now what I'm going to do is show you how I prep. So I spray my nails with alcohol to soften up my cuticles. And I take this cuticle pusher and I push back anything dead on my nail bed into the cuticle area to try and push everything back to make sure that when I put the product on, there is not going to be any lifting. I do that to each nail. And then if the alcohol tends to dry up, I might go in and spray some more because it does seem to dry up quickly. I just want to make sure that I'm softening up my cuticles. If anybody can comment down below, give me some brand names. I do know they sell cuticle stuff specifically for this purpose. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if you guys can recommend anything, I'd greatly appreciate it. Once I'm done doing that, I will take the other side of the cuticle pusher and I will scrape off anything that's left over, as you can see I'm doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you watch that, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. I did forget to mention that I also go in with my cuticle scissors and trim anything left over. I'm not really great with the cuticle scissors. Not that I cut myself, I just feel like I don't get everything off that I should be able to. But that's fine, I still, I try. Right here I'm just spraying my hand with more alcohol and wiping off anything that is remaining, the dust, dirt, anything that's on my nail bed, just to avoid any lifting again when I go to put on my nail tip. Usually I use base coat to glue on my nail tip, but for this set I used glue, so I just wanted to make sure everything was clean. What I'm doing here is, since I did all that, I'm going to take my Makartt rechargeable portable nail file, e-file, and I'm just going to take that and go around each nail to remove anything that I may have left over, and to remove the shine. You want to make sure that you're buffing the nail, whether you use this or a regular nail file, which you can use, by the way. You don't have to have an e-file. And I'm getting that shine off. I'm getting anything dead on the nail, making sure that I am definitely not going to have lifting, or I'm not going to get anything like any moisture underneath the nail tip in the product. We don't want to get any fungus or anything like that. So I'm just taking this around the cuticle area, bringing it down over the whole nail. I also tend to push up when I'm using that too, to kind of push up the cuticle even more. I sometimes do that without even doing the cuticle pusher too sometimes, depending on how fast I want to get done or something like that. But taking this on each of the nails, as you can see, I'm going down that pointer finger, doing it slowly. I am only on a speed 4 on the e-file. You don't have to do a high speed. You want to make sure you're always moving the buffer, because if you don't and you stop in one spot for too long, you will burn your nail. I'm not sure of the grit of this particular sanding band. I'll have to look, but I will link everything down below. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to size up my tip. I'm trying to show you here that there's numbers, but I don't know, they just weren't showing up. There's little numbers so you know what size you are. When you are sizing out tips, you want to make sure that they fit sidewall to sidewall. So from one side of your nail to the other. If you don't have something that you can find and everything is either too small or the one size is just too big, go with the bigger one. Because what you can do is you can trim the corners of the nail, which helps. And if that doesn't help you, you can file down on each side to thin out that area so that it does fit sidewall to sidewall. Now, if you put something on that's too small, you're not going to be able to correct it and you're going to cause lifting. So again, if you can't find your a good size that's perfect, go bigger. Once I've picked out my size, I just make sure I'm eyeing it up again to say, okay, it fits sidewall to sidewall. I'm going to take a tube of that Makartt glue. I'm going to put a little dab on my nail, and then I'm going to put the nail tip on. Now for this part, I usually use base coat gel, and then I'll put some on that well, and then I will place the tip on my nail and put my finger underneath the nail dryer for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then it cures on. And kind of just, for me, I think it protects the nail better. Also, I usually put on a first layer of base coat before I glue on the nail, also to try and prevent any damage to my nail bed, because I do a lot of sets, and I just don't want to damage my nail bed. But whatever works best for you. Unfortunately, I cannot use these tips in their full glory. I have to trim them down, but they are gorgeous, and they do have a bit of a C-curve. So I will show you how I try to get rid of that. Also, another tip, when you are trimming down your nails, don't cut them all the way down to the exact length that you want them. Leave some room, because you got to file. You got to file the sides, you got to file the free edge, just to make sure you get it to the length you want. And if you go too short, you're going to file all your nail off. Right here, I'm just taking my nail file and I'm filing the sides down, shaping it a little bit. I do switch files here. I grabbed the model ones and then I wanted to use something else. I just wanted to say my nail file looks rough, but I promise you I don't do anybody else's nail but my own. This is, I think I got some gel polish on this one, but this is the Pana nail file. I think they're 80/80. You can get them on Amazon. They're amazing. But I'm just going over the nail, filing it to the length I want, the sides that I want. I go for a coffin look with this set. I still struggle, I believe, with shaping. Like, I love square, sorry. But I lean towards coffin too. But it's almost like my shaping is a coffin and a square. Like, I'm trying to get both of them in one. So I'm obviously still working on my shaping, and you'll see when I'm done that I show you the nail, and it's a great coffin shape, but then when I'm looking at my nails now that they're done, it almost is more of a square. So you can use your file to go ahead and do the sides, but you also want to take it over the top of the nail or the e-file, as you see here, and you want to blend the tip into your nail bed. You're also going to want to go down the nail, and you're going to want to take off the shine from the nail tip. You can also use the e-file to file down the sides, the free edge, just to get that shape you want, because you want to make sure you're shaping before the product. It's going to be a lot harder to shape it once you have the product on your nail. Sometimes I do forget, excuse me, but again, it's nothing you can't fix. It's just going to take a little bit long for me to file it at the end to get that shape that I want. It's also important to know that you don't have to have an e-file to do this, okay? You can use a regular file. It might take you longer, but it's doable. Not everybody feels comfortable using an e-file. When I first started, I was kind of scared. Hurt myself a couple times, but I've learned how to use it. I've learned how to control it. I've been doing it for almost 2 years, but just know you don't have to. Here's how you're going to get rid of some of that C-curve. Is you can use your nail scissors or a straight edge nail clipper. Now, since my nails aren't long, I decided the scissors weren't going to work, so I go ahead with these, but I couldn't find my straight edge. So even though this isn't a straight edge nail clipper, which you can find on Amazon, it still did the trick. You just want to go ahead and trim off some of the sides, and then on both sides rather. And then once you're done, you're going to go ahead and you're going to file and perfect that shape again. But since these have that C-curve, this helps get rid of a lot of the, it's not as deep. It's not a deep C-curve anymore, which I love C-curve nail tips, but I just didn't want to go for that particular look for this particular set. So again, once I'm done, as you can see here, I am filing after trimming down to perfect that shape, that coffin shape. Excuse me. And then I will probably, I think I do it off camera again, but I do go over the tops of the nails again just to make sure it's definitely no shine and to make sure that tip is blended into my nail. I like it to be flat. Even though I'm going to put product on, I still like to make sure that it's as flat as possible, sealed to the nail. Here I'm going and I'm just making sure that I'm straightening out the nail. And you want to make sure your file is always straight, no matter what direction you're using it. Excuse me. Because if you file it a certain way, it'll make it more rounder than square if you want that straight square look. As you can see here, I filed the nail down to the exact length that I wanted it, and I'm taking some alcohol and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wipe off all that dust from filing and get rid of the shine and hydrate my nail. Alright, I meant to say dehydrate my nail, not hydrate my nail. So now I'm going in with the Young Nails bonder here. You're going to do 2 coats of this, and you're going to be sure to just put this on the nail and not touch your skin. So what I do is I just put it on the nail plate there. Don't put it on the tip. You don't need to. This is going to make sure that the product adheres to your nail and does not lift. So I went ahead and I finished doing that off camera, and I put on the rest of the nail tips, filed them down, did all that nice stuff. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to go in with your base coat. Once you put the base coat on, you want to cure for 30 seconds. And it does have a tacky layer, and it's meant to. It's to make sure that the product sticks to your nail. I do tend to do 1 nail at a time when it comes to the base coat. Sometimes I don't, just because I just want to make sure nothing gets, no dust or anything. So once that's cured for 30 seconds, I'm going to take that yellow shade, that beautiful that beautiful yellow color. Actually, as you can see here now that I'm putting on the nail, it doesn't look as bright as it does when I swatched it. but it's definitely not that bright off camera. I am going to do this nail, a full nail with that color, and I'm just taking that slip in a bottle, putting some of it on the polygel, and then moving it around. I will say that I found that I go ahead and I use alcohol. I don't remember if I switched to it on this hand yet or on my other hand. I found that it was working better for me, and I will say too that this particular polygel is on the runnier side. Not that you can't work with it, you can. Also, if your polygel is more runny, you can put it in your refrigerator for a little bit, or your freezer, whatever, not too long, just to get it more stiffer. I didn't have any issues, but you will see that I do clean up a lot, and if you feel like you're cleaning up more than you should, around the cuticle or the sidewalls, then just go ahead and do some flash curing if you need to. But you can still use the product. It's just more of on the runnier side of polygel, whereas your Makartt's more of a stiffer, so nothing wrong with it. So what I do is I start here at the free edge, and then I take it and I go up to the cuticle area. I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this process, and then I'll be right back. Alright, and welcome back. I went ahead and I finished that, and I cured for 60 seconds. You can cure for 30 if you want. The next nail that I do is the pointer, and this one's going to be an ombre. So I start with the free edge. If you do look on my nail, I have a little bit there. I just took any excess off of my thumb and just put it on there a while because I don't like to waste polygel. So once I put that on, I'm going to grab some more slip solution, and I pull it up, but we don't pull it up all the way to, the cuticle, because we only want that free edge to have the color, because we're going to put another color on the top and blend it down to make it ombre. Anytime that you feel like, you're using a slip in a bottle or whatever and you need more, just add more. You don't want it to be sticky because you don't want it to go all over the place. So I'm going to let you watch this, and then I'm going to be right back. All right, I'm back again, guys. So I go ahead and I move on to my ring finger, which I'm not sure why. But anyway, I do. This is going to be also a full cover with this color. Put some on the free edge, and then I pull it up. You're more than welcome to do 2 beads. If you feel like you do one thin layer and need more, I do add another coat to this because it is more on the shearer side. But it's completely up to you how you apply your polygel. So I'm going to let you finish watching that process, and then I'm going to be right back, and we'll get finished on this nail set. Alright guys, and that nail is done. Now I have to put, I have to do the middle and the pinky are also going to be ombres. So I'm going to use that same color and I'm going to put that on the tip of the nail, working it upwards but not all the way to the cuticle because again it's going to be an ombre. I am going to use a different shade for the cuticle area. Again, if you're putting this or any product on and you feel that it's too thin, you can place another layer on top of it. I believe this might have been where I switched over to alcohol. I don't know, but I'm going to let you finish watching the nails and then I will be back again. Hope you enjoy. All right, welcome back. So I finished that. Now we're going to go in with the cuticle color and we're going to ombre. I do show you, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Right here, I'm just wiping off that sticky layer. And by the way, each time I do put any polygel on and I'm ready to cure it, I cure it for 30 to 60 seconds. Usually in between, I'll do 30 and then the final, I'll do 60. So I'm going to take that light shade from the Beetles Polygel kit, and I'm going to put that on the cuticle area of the nail. Now, what I do personally is I push it up towards the cuticle area first. I want to make sure that I'm not touching the cuticle. You don't want anything to get on your skin because it can cause an allergic reaction depending on your skin type, or it's going to cause lifting. So that's what you're seeing me do here. I'm pushing the product up towards the cuticle area rather than putting it right on the cuticle area and trying to get it off. So you want to place the product down a little bit below the cuticle and push it upwards. Once I feel like I have the product up towards the cuticle, I bring it down on the sides and then I get like this kind of straight line where the product is, because I want to make sure my apex is good too. So I don't know if you can tell by the side there, that little arch, your apex area. Once I have it there and I clean up around the sides a little bit and I feel that it's at a good space, that's when I start to pull it down. And when you're pulling it down, you want to apply more pressure than you would if you weren't doing an ombre. So right here, I'm just perfecting it. I just want to make sure that nothing's on the cuticle. I go down the sides. Sometimes I think I do it too much. I think I've become overly obsessive with it. I just want to make sure, that it's great. So right here, see how I take the brush and I kind of make that straight. I kind of want to have like my base, I guess, if you want to call it, my starting point. Then I go ahead and I bring down the product. I'm going to bring it down to the tip of the nail. And even if I have too much product, you'll see how I get it off to make that seamless, blend. So here I am taking my brush. I start on the sides because I feel like I have more of a hard time on the sides. And then I'm pulling the product down. And as I go down, I'm putting more pressure on my nail. I'm pressing, see if you've seen right there, I press down. Then I'm taking that excess off. I'm going back in. And I might even have my brush a little drier too, just to ensure that I'm doing the perfect blend. Then I swipe across the nail to get anything that's on that free edge, because that should remain the color that you have there. The ombre should be somewhere in the middle of the nail where it blends. So here I'm just taking the brush again and still cleaning up the sides. Again, guys, this is a runnier consistency. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe flash cure in between if that works for you. Well, no, you couldn't really flash cure on that area because you don't want to mess up the ombre. But if you weren't doing an ombre, flash cure, whatever. But here I am. I'm still taking that brush, pulling some of the product down. I want to make sure that I have an ombre. I don't want it to be just this shade's on this side, this shade's on that side. It should blend down into each other. I'm just taking my finger, I'm looking at it at all angles, which is something I definitely recommend. Taking the brush, making sure again that I'm cleaning up around the nails. And also, again, I think I'm being a little bit excessive with it, but to each their own. So then I go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the rest of the process and the rest of the nails. I'll see you soon. All right, welcome back, guys. So I went ahead and finished that up. I hope you enjoyed that process. I'm going to take some more of my alcohol here and just clean up the nails. Now, usually I use a clear polygel to encapsulate because when you file, you don't want to ruin your ombre. But since it didn't come with one, I'm going to use this Burano 3-in-1. It has such a thick consistency, it resembles a builder gel. So what I do is I take some of it on the brush, a good amount, and then I start closer to the cuticle area, and I kind of move the brush around, kind of like, you can see how I'm moving it there. And then I'm going to show you here when I flip my hand around how I just lightly glide the brush on the product. You don't want to press down hard as if you're applying gel polish. You want to glide it back to back, back and forth to kind of pull it into the place that you want it to go. And with this and your builder gels, if you tip your nail upside down, it pulls it into place to where it has to go. So I love that about builder gel. I want to work with builder gel more, but I just decided to do that instead of getting another brand of polygel to use for clear from this, since this one didn't come with it. But I do that to all the nails, and then I go ahead and I clean the nails. And again, guys, every time I do that, I do cure for 30 to 60 seconds anytime I apply, you know, the polygel and I need to cure it, or the gel polish. Now I'm going to take my Makartt rechargeable portable drill. It's one of my favorites. And I am going to take one of my drill bits, and I'll show you here in a minute. I just go ahead and pick one out. And this little drill bit holder I got from Shein. So again, I will link everything down below. And I still don't know the names of all the drill bits, even though I've been doing this for quite some time now, but one day I'll learn. But I'm just taking this one here, and I like that it's a flat edge and it can get into the cuticle area really good. When I am taking down the bulk of a nail, I usually put my drill on about, you know, it depends, like maybe in between like a 12 and 15. But I'm going to start with the cuticle area because I want to make sure that it's flush to the nail. You don't want any space because you don't want to cause lifting or have any moisture get in there. So I take it and I put it as close as I can to my cuticle area to ensure that it's flush. Then I go to the sides to make sure I still have that coffin look. But then, you know, the way I am with shaping, sometimes it's just a square, which is fine because that's my favorite, but I am still working. And anybody that wants to start out doing nails, guys, you always learn. So don't get discouraged if you feel like one thing isn't going your way. Just keep practicing. But anyway, and then I go over the top of the nail to smooth it out, and then I go over the free edge to make sure that it's a straight line. I don't want to have a crooked nail. I go under the nail to see if maybe some product got under the nail to file that down. And then after I do file, I go over with a regular file just to really perfect the sides and the free edge to make sure that everything goes back to the way it was before I put the product on. When I filed the nail tip and, you know, I got it to that perfect shape. Comment down below, guys, what your favorite shape is. Personally, I think I've said it before in my other videos, my favorite is a tapered square now. It used to be square, but I am favoring more towards a coffin lately. But I think that's just because I start with coffin and it ends up in a square. I don't know. One of these days I'll have the shaping down packed. Right there, what you've seen me do is I pulled on my skin to make sure that my cuticle was not touching the product, and it wasn't. And then I just take that drill bit again in there just to make sure it's definitely flush, and then go down the nail and make sure that everything's smoothed out so that when I do put on my top coat or my design, there's not going to be any bumps and it's not going to look, you know, it's not going to be uneven. I usually will use just the sanding band for this part just because polygel isn't as thick and as acrylic, but I do tend to like this one more now because it does get really up against that cuticle area. But whatever bits you feel comfortable using, and again, guys, you don't have to use any file. You can do this with a regular file as well. You just want to make sure that if you're filing close to the cuticle area, that you don't get too close that you cut yourself. So I go ahead and I finish up the nails, and now I'm just taking off any dust from filing because you don't want to have any dust when you're doing your top coat. And then we're going to get into the design. So I almost forget to buff as usual. This is what I always do. I always forget to buff the nail. But I do buff it. So after you're done filing, you do want to use a nail buffer, which takes out the scratches and also smooths out the nail. Right here, I'm showing you the top coat, but I wanted to keep this part in real quick. As you can see, that thing that just popped out and flew across the room. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. So I thought it was funny and I'd keep it in. But I did find it and I do use it. But anyway, I was just picking out what I was going to put on my nails here. Here I am showing you the buffer, and I go ahead and buff the nails, making sure to get rid of those scratches. I go under the nail, on this free edge, on the sides, and then you should feel your nail and it should feel really smooth. That way when you put the top coat on, you won't see any of those scratches and imperfections. Right here, I'm just taking my brush from the lovely Blissful Cream Nails, and I am wiping off the dust, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put on a top coat, which came in the kit. Now, you can put your stickers on before this and then top coat, because I do use stickers, but I like putting stickers on top of a top coat. I feel like it helps them stick better, but whatever, you know, whatever works for you. And I do apologize, I had to take a drink. But so once I've top coated all the nails, I go ahead and I put on the nail art. I start with the kawaii pieces. I do choose one of the I think it's a little ice cream cone, and then a gummy bear, because I had to use a gummy bear. I just had to. There was no way I was doing this set without one of those gummy bears. So I'm going to let you finish watching me top coat, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. I do apologize if you're going to hear something in the background. I am currently out on my deck. Just wanted some air, so there's people in the far distance, but I doubt you'll be able to hear them. I don't know. But now I'm taking some of that rhinestone glue that came with the kit, and I'm just placing it where I want to put that little kawaii piece. And this is a great rhinestone gel. I've tried several. Makartt's my top favorite, but this is in close second. It stayed put. When I cured it, it didn't move. So with that being mentioned, after you do put this on and you want to cure it for at least 30 seconds, even flash curing it, you could too as well. I'm missing my flashlight curing lights. I don't know what I did with them, but so I just used my big lamp and I put it in for about 30 seconds just to make sure it stays put. And then I go in with the next piece that I'm going to use. I only use 3 of the kawaii pieces, but I plan on using them more on other sets. I also have to buy another sticker sheet because the one that came with this, which you see right there, my little one got a hold of it, and yeah, she put them all over my wall. So there's that. The joys of having kids. But as long as she was happy, right? Could have been worse. So I am taking that rhinestone gel again, and I am putting it next to the first piece, and then I am placing one of these hearts right next to it. I just felt like it looked neat upside down. I don't know, but to each their own. You guys can do whatever you want with your own nails. They're your nails. It's your choice. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Not everybody's going to like the same thing. Next, I'm going to go over to my middle finger, and I go ahead and put the gummy bear, the star of the show. I thought these were so cute. I put that on the nail using the rhinestone gel, and then I cure it for about 30 seconds. And even if you don't have something to flash cure, you can even use your big lamp. You could just stick your hand in there for 10 seconds to take it out. But yeah, I do need to find mine. But I'm just curing that, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into the stickers. These stickers were so fun, and actually I just remembered that I do have other stickers, like dessert stickers, but they were different. They looked more, I don't know, I want to say like maybe vintage, so I didn't want to mix it up. But when I do my right hand, I do end up using maybe 1 or 2 things on there, just because I ran out of the blue color on here, because I do my right hand with the blue shade. Still an ombre, still the same nails that are full cover, and then the ombre, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So when you do take your tweezers, you want to kind of, I mean, this works for me. Maybe other people can do it differently. I bend the sticker sheet, and then I pull up using those tweezers, and it tends to be easier to get it off. I find when I keep it flat, I have a hard time gripping it. The stickers were easy to use. They didn't pop up. I just pressed them down, and then I used my finger to make sure they were down. You also can use a silicone tool if you have one. And I'm sorry, guys, you're going to hear my wind chimes. But there's a silicone tool you can use that you kind of, the ones that you use for, you know, nail foils to press it down. But a finger works great. So I'm going to go ahead, let you guys watch me finish picking out this design, and I'll be right back, and I can't wait to show you the finished look. Alright guys, welcome back. So I got all the stickers on and everything. Now I'm going to go in with the top coat that came in this kit just to seal everything in. You know, you want to make sure that when you're doing your daily chores, or if you're taking care of your kids, washing the dishes as much as I do, that those stickers don't come up. And also I kept on the Kawaii charms for at least a week, and they didn't go anywhere. I actually had to take them off myself. Just because after a while of, again, I have long hair down to my butt. So anytime I'm putting my hair up, or if I'm combing my hair, if I'm in the shower, they just get stuck on it, and it just drives me mad. But I still wanted to use them because they were so cute. So anyway, before I took them off, they stayed put and didn't have any problems with them popping off. So that tells me that rhinestone glue, or gel rather, I recommend it. Get yourself this kit. It's a good kit, and I can definitely see a difference in the formula, because like I said, I have another kit. I didn't do a set with it, but I swatched it, so I'm able to tell, you know, the consistency. And again, if you're not familiar or used to using a runnier polygel, all you got to do is stick it in the fridge for a little bit, cool it down, it'll get stiffer. So it's not an issue at all. We'll link it below. I recommend getting this kit. I really appreciate everybody that has supported me this far. I just truly appreciate it. I never thought I would get to over 100 as quickly as I did. I was so glad to offer a giveaway. Congratulations again to the person that won. Pressed by Tess, I believe. I think her name is Tessa. I talked to her a little bit over on Instagram. Got her products. Hoping to see her start her own YouTube channel soon. Comment down below, guys, if you have any ideas on any other sets. I do apologize because I was supposed to do a Shein haul. I lost my video, guys. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if my kids accidentally deleted it, but normally they go to the cloud, up in there on the cloud, but it's gone from there too. So I'm actually ordering something from them again. So I'll go ahead and do one then. But here's the finished look, guys. After I put that top coat on, I cured for a full 60 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this Burano cuticle oil on. Again, I recommend the kit that came in. I'll link that video down below. It's thick. I love it. But here's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'll put my Instagram like I always do. If you need to message me. I plan on doing another giveaway. I put at the end of the video a video of my nails in sunlight. I hope you enjoy that. Again, I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. Please, please, please like, comment, put on those notifications so you know when I'm posting again. I love you all. Thank you so much.